And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, Tom Vasel here. Today we're going to take a look at the newest expansion for Smash Up from AEG called Science Fiction Double Feature. And no, I'm not going to break into song here. This expansion adds 4 new factions to Smash Up. Let's take a closer look at them. The first faction is the Time Travelers. These guys are essentially an annoy your opponent faction, and there's a lot of manipulation things here. Like, for example, here at Play After Base Scores, you put your minions into your deck instead of putting them in a discard pile. Or play an action from your discard pile as an extra action. That's actually pretty cool. This is one this is one that's fun to mix with other decks that have powerful actions to be able to play them twice. Play an action from your discard pile, or place one from your discard pile on top of your deck, this guy. Shuffle all actions or all minions from your discard pile into your deck. Place a card from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck. You can play an extra minion or an extra action, draw 2 cards, and then put this on the bottom of your deck instead of your discard pile. But that doesn't really matter since you can shuffle your deck and things to get this card back. When this minion goes to the discard pile, it can go back in your hand. So again, these cards are all about manipulation and putting cards in your deck. They also have some other cool cards like this one. This one you just place in a base, that base can't score. Destroy it at the beginning of your turn. So you can kind of keep one base from scoring. Just shut it down for a turn. Or return a minion from a base to your hand. You can play it again as an extra minion. Really nice to be able to move your minions all over the place. Dr. Wen, can do the same thing, where you can put a minion back in your hand and play it again somewhere else. Or just into the time slip, returning a card in play to its owner's hand. So these guys are kind of annoying. Now the spies are probably just as annoying in some respects. And I think with the spies, it's all about what are the titles of each of the cards. Oh, this one's from Q with love. But draw 3 cards, discard 2, play in a base. Other people can't play specials when that scores. There's a couple factions that this really hurts. Mindbreaker. Reveal the top card, and you can put them on the bottom. So sometimes it's fun to show someone what they would have drawn, but you didn't. Permit to kill. Everyone shows the top 2 cards, and they get rid of minions. And the other ones go back. So when someone's looking for minions and you've killed them, it can be annoying. Here, before this base scores, you can play an action as a special action, a very useful ability. The Mole, also a fantastic haircut. Discards are forever. You keep discarding till you find a minion, and then you discard everything. Play before base scores. Destroy a minion of power 3 or less there. Again, these cards are going to really annoy your opponent. Secret Agent. I don't know who this is portraying. After another player plays an action, they have to discard a card. This is an ongoing thing. When this gets out, people are going to get really annoyed at you after a while, especially if they like to play lots of actions. The Spy Who Ditched Me. Everyone has to discard a minion, if possible. Look at the top 3 cards, put them in any order. Look at the top 5 cards, put them in any order. So again, the spies, it's hard to find like a theme on the spies, other than that they can do things and annoy other players, but I guess they're very spy-ish. Now, a deck that comes with a very strong theme is the Cyborg Apes. Now, here's Furious George, which for some reason I find one of the funniest named minions in the game. But he has +1 power for every action that's played on him. The Baboom has, if you can play an action on him as an extra action. Here you can play actions on him from the discard pile, the Cyberback. So why would you want to play actions on these? Because this deck is full of like basically buffing actions. You can play this one, and you have shielding. He's no longer affected by other people's actions. Give a minion +3 power. Give a minion +2 power for each action on it, including this one. Play in a minion. That minion from now on can destroy another player's minion of 4 or less. Flying Monkey. After the base scores, you can move the minion to another spot. Missing Uplink. You get to draw an extra card at the end of your turn. You can really buff up the monkeys to become some of the most powerful minions in the game. Clyde here also, if your actions played on minions here go to discard pile, you can place them in your hand instead, which is really, really cool. If you can really pull off some good things. And then there's Going Bananas. Destroy other players' actions on a base. and on minions, and reveal the top 5 cards. Put any number of actions in your hand. So this is all about playing actions on your minions. Also, it has a really cool background there with the bananas. And then the last faction that we have here is the Shapeshifters. Now, the Shapeshifters have 2 major cards in the deck. One is the Mimic, which has a 0 power, but his power is actually equal to the highest power printed on any minion card in play. So you get that T-Rex out. This guy's a 7. And then the Copycat, who has a 2 power, but he can pick another minion, and you have the same ability as that minion until the end of the turn. These 2 guys are very useful, and you can copy all sorts of things. The GELF here, you can search your deck for someone who's power 4 or less. Often you'll pull Copycats out of your deck to play. Transmogrify, destroy a minion to put out a lower one. It's very similar to the card I just showed you. A Doppelganger. When a minion goes to discard pile, you can search your deck for a minion and play it as an extra minion. So you can keep playing things out. The Doppelganger is very useful. And, okay, this one just makes me laugh. Really? That's who I'm supposed to copy? But destroy minions and put out another minion. This lets you destroy sometimes minions from your other faction and get out those copycats. Cellular bonding. You can copy someone else's action. So, haha, Cyborg monkeys. Choose a minion. You can play an extra minion from your hand with the same name. All your minions have +1 power, or one of them has +3 power. And I just love the splice is nice. This minion has +2 power. And then destroy a minion, but they get to play another minion. But still, if they have a big minion or a minion with a lot of actions. So the Shapeshifters are all about copying and messing with existing minions on the board. This is the 3rd expansion for Smash Up, the science fiction double feature. And it is a very basic expansion. In fact, I would go so far to say that if you like Smash Up, but you don't want a whole lot of extra complications in your game. For example, the Cthulhu one added madness cards. The Ghosts, the first expansion, added a few factions that you had to do weird things, like the Ghost, you try to get rid of cards from your hand for them to work. This one is the easiest one to add so far, and this is actually my favorite, mostly because the Cyborg Monkeys and the Shapeshifters are 2 of my favorite factions in the game. The Shapeshifters are my favorite faction ever done. I love them. I love being able to copy other people, and I love the combos. The Cyber Monkeys are fun because of the actions you can play on your people, and if you mix them with another faction that also does actions that you can play on minions, you can really pull off some pretty cool combos. The other ones are good too, but they're not my style. They're ones that like make your opponent go, "Rrr!" And the Time Travelers actually don't allow any player who takes a long time to do that, because that whole shuffle cards in your deck, move cards around, can slow the game down if someone who's like, like, no, you're not allowed to play the Time Shifters or Time Travelers. A very good expansion, 4 very solid factions, not a lot of new rules and stuff, just 4 solid factions. There's also some more of the different places that you can fight in, some more of the arenas. Monkey Lab minions here get +1 for each action played on them. The Secret Volcano headquarters and things like that. So lots of fun, lots of a good addition to the game. I believe this brings the game up to 20 different factions you can play with, which means there's now huge amounts of combinations. A good, solid, lot of fun, and a lot of fun with the names and the parodies in this expansion. So that's Science Fiction Double Feature. Big thumbs up from me.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Shut the door.